There are countless resources that you can use in your family history and genealogy research. And I want to show you a helpful way to track down those details. Imagine searching for more than 10,000 libraries all at once to see who you're related to. It's possible with worldcat.org. Worldcat.org is a free website that features billions of resources like birth and death records, family histories, county histories, city directories, yearbooks, military records, church records, and original documents. Basically, if a library catalogs it, you might find it in worldcat.org. As of this recording, worldcat.org has entries for more than 405 million books, 440 million articles, 6 million maps, and so much more. They've even built in a way to help you organize your research plan. WorldCat.org isn't a brand new resource, but if you haven't used it for a while, you are in for a treat. It's recently been redesigned, making it even easier to bring your family's history to life. Let's dive in. Here on the WorldCat.org homepage, you can start a search right here from the top. A good way to find family material is to look for that surname with the word family after it. I'm going to do a search for Ramsey family. I have more than 18,000 results. This is a fairly broad search, so we're going to see a lot of variety of materials. Here we have a biography of a specific person, a collection of family letters, an autobiography and family history, and even a novel. A good way to narrow down a search like this is to add a location, either a county, a state, or a country. I'm going to scroll back up to the top of the page. I'm going to add Pennsylvania. Now I have 590 results, and I still have a variety of items. I have a collection of family letters. Here's a family history. When you find an item that you're interested in, you can click on the title to get more information. I'm interested in this book, 200 Years of Family History. So I'm going to click on this title. Now I have a detail page about this specific title. I can click this Show More link to get a little bit more information. Over here on the left, there are 3 icons. The first is a bookmark icon, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. You can click the quotation marks and form a source citation, and you can click this sharing button. You can share this out onto Facebook, Twitter, you can send to someone via email, or you can copy the link. Now on the detail page, when you scroll down, you'll see the libraries that have this title. So I can see there's a copy at the Library of Congress. There's also a copy at the Family History Library in Salt Lake City. When you click the Borrow button on the right, it will usually take you to this title's entry in this library's catalog. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to click the Borrow button for the Family History Library. It redirects me to the Family History Library catalog. And here is that book that I was looking at, the 200 Years of Family History. This book has actually been digitized. WorldCat.org is more than just family histories. Think about topics like locations, organizations, churches, and occupations that pertain to your ancestors. I was researching New Zion Presbyterian Church in Indiana. I did a search for New Zion Presbyterian, Indiana, and look at the first result. What's cool about this entry is that it's archival material. Clicking Show More, I can learn more about this resource, including that it has baptisms, marriages, and deaths. That sounds like something I can use. I can click on the title and see that these materials are held at Hanover College. That is not a place I would have thought to look for them. Clicking on the Borrow button takes me directly to that entry in the Hanover College catalog, where I can learn a bit more about it, including a link to an online finding aid. Not every resource that you'll find on worldcat.org is online. If what you're looking at isn't, you can contact the library directly and see if they'll do a lookup. If you do, keep your question short and specific. You could also hire a researcher, or you could go to that library yourself. Genealogy road trip! Consider doing a search with a broad topic, but a specific location. Here I did a search for slavery, Richmond, Virginia. As I scroll through the results, I see that this entry is marked Open Access. That means that it links directly to a digital resource. If I click Access Free, it takes me directly, in this case, to the University of Tennessee and a digital copy of a letter from someone in Natchez, Mississippi, to the Humane Society for the Abolition of Slavery in Richmond, Virginia. Another example of items popping up in unexpected places. On the results page, you can use the filters on the left to narrow down your results. For example, maybe I'm wanting just archival materials. I could use the filter on the left and select Archival Material, and the results automatically filter. Here's my ninja tip for getting even more specific results. When you find an entry that's interesting, click on the title and then click Show More Information. Look through the list of subject headings and click on the one that is closest to what you're looking for. When you click on that subject heading, you'll get a list of other resources that use that same subject heading. It's a great way to get really specific with your search. If you've created a free account on worldcat.org, you can set up favorite libraries, as well as create lists. These are so handy to revisit again and again. You could create a list for a specific branch of your family or a location that you're researching in. A list can be private or public. Public lists can be a great way to coordinate with a research partner. When you find a resource that you're interested in, click the bookmark icon. If you haven't created a list yet, it'll prompt you to start one. Then just add it to the list. It's a great way to keep track of all those wonderful resources that you're finding on worldcat.org. You can also find public lists. At the top of the search page, change from items to lists. Then enter a keyword. I'm going to search for genealogy. There are tons of public genealogy lists. When you find one that's interesting, click to explore the titles. You can even follow someone else's public list. You can make up to 50 lists, each with up to 500 items. This makes it handy to set up lists for different branches of your family tree or topics that you're exploring. Using worldcat.org can take your research to the next level. Click on the link down in the description to start using worldcat.org yourself by creating your own account.